guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make our salt dough. So get your apron on if you have one. If you don't have one, you might just get a little flour on you. I always like to wear an apron. And you're going to need those ingredients that I gave you. Your salt. And I gave you some flour too. My flour has now been transferred into a plastic bin here. You're also going to need a bowl and a measuring cup. You need at least a 1 cup measurer. If you have a half cup measurer, you can get one of those. If not, you'll be using your cup and just filling it halfway. The third thing you're going to need is some water. And I just put some in a little pitcher over here. I'm not going to use all of this at all. I'm going to use just a half cup or so. So we're over here. All right, so we're going to take our cup measure, our 1 cup measure, and we're going to measure 2 cups of flour. You see you want it about even. If you want to be super precise as a baker, and it's sometimes good to get in the habit of this if you're going to be making cakes and stuff from a recipe, you can get a nice heaping cup and you can level it off like this using a knife so it's nice and flat. That will give you a precise measurement. And we're going to put 2 cups of flour into our bowl like this. 2 cups. And then we're going to put 1 cup of salt. And you'll see you can take the little plastic or paper thing off there. You get a little pour spout on your salt. And you're going to fill that up. It's a lot of salt. This is going to make your dough not so tasty at all. But salt is a preservative. People use it to cure meat so meat doesn't go bad, or fish. And you're going to fill that up with salt, and this will preserve your dough so your dough won't go bad. So you're going to stick that in there, and then you can stir. I'm going to stir that, mix it up a little bit so that the salt and the flour are mixed. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to add a half cup of water. Now, if you don't have a half cup measure, you can fill this halfway, a full cup. But I have a half cup measure, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to take my water. You could also do this right at the sink and carefully walk across your kitchen. Try not to spill water all over the kitchen floor. And we're going to stick that into our bowl, and we're going to stir it around. And I'm going to start getting that water and salt into this dough. Now, this salt dough you can use, Gertie made some earrings using it the other day. You can use it to make all sorts of things, Christmas ornaments, earrings. Now you can see mine's getting quite stiff and I may need some more water. We'll see. I'm going to put just a little bit more water in my half cup measurer. I'm not going to put it in yet because I want to see how this is going to be. Now, playing with salt dough can hurt your hands if you play with it too much. But the salt pulls out the moisture of your hands. So this isn't a recipe for Play-Doh, but it's okay to play with it a little bit, especially as you're making it and as you work on it. So you can see I'm using my hand now to just break up the pieces. This is a step that one does in pie dough, where you make like little pea size or cornmeal pieces of dough. In this case, this is going to be entirely too dry to work. So that's why, and depending on how humid your day is, it's going to need different amounts of water. Now today has gotten much less humid than it was maybe a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see. We might need more water than we did a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to put a tiny bit in, and I'm going to then mix up because we want this into a dough, a soft dough. You can see it's already gotten a little sticky, but it's not all coming together yet. So I'm going to take another little spoonful. Squish, squish. And it's starting to come together. You don't want it to be sticky, but you do want it to be dough. And it's still not really dough, is it? Part of it is. So let's add a little more. We might even need more than a whole half cup. Just adding it slowly. If you end up adding too much, you can always add more flour. But so far we are in good shape. Starting to get a nice dough, but the flour is still separate. So we're gonna add a little bit more here till this comes in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add the whole other half cup. So far we're at 1/2 cup plus 1/2 cup is a whole cup of water that we have added in. And now it's starting to get nice and mushy. And pliable. So I think this is actually looking pretty good. If you can make so what we're going to end up using this for is our maps, and you can make it flat, pinch a couple little mountains. It's a way of making clay at home when you don't have to fire this. You can bake it in the oven if you wish, or you can just let it air dry, and it gets quite hard. And if you paint it with acrylic paint, or then it's really sealed up and can even get wet. But we're going to end up using our watercolors because I didn't give you acrylic. And the watercolor will be fine for this as well. All right. So at this point, I've got a ball of salt dough. And this is the ball that I'm going to use for class tomorrow. And I'm going to just make it into a nice ball. And I'm going to wrap it up with some, I'm going to either put it in a Ziploc bag, if you have a Ziploc bag, or sealed Tupperware container, or you can wrap it in plastic wrap. So that no air gets to it until we're ready to use it. And we're going to use it for our maps. And so I'm going to just set that right there and go find myself something to wrap it up in. So I found this lovely little freezer bag, Ziploc bag. I'm going to stick it in. And I want to seal it out because I don't want this to dry out before tomorrow. And it's ready for me to make a map. Now I still have a little bit of flour in here that never came together. I might add a little bit of water to that. Just make a little extra dough here. And oh, that got really, really slimy. So this is also good for you to see what to do if there's too slimy. This is too slimy. Too slimy, what do you think we're gonna add? Add a little more flour to too slimy. I'm going to just put it in the bottom of this. I can roll it around in there until it gets less slimy. Knead it. Oh, still too slimy. So, and now it looks much better. Okay, and if I wanted to make, I could make this into a little pendant. Maybe my mom's birthday is coming up soon. I can roll it out, make it into a little pendant. I could put a little hole in there with, oh, I have a chopstick over here. With a little chopstick, put a little hole. I can dry that out in the air. Later I could paint something on or use a Sharpie. So if you have a little extra, once we're finished our maps, you might like to make something else with the salt dough. And you can make all sorts of things with that. So, all right, I will see you soon. Bye.